Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Shenandoah here on the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader with you here, joined by the talented, the great TJ Young. We've got high school girls basketball action for you tonight. Two Hawkeye 10 conference foes going at it in a non-conference game. It's Atlantic at Shenandoah. And TJ, it's two teams that as of late playing some pretty good basketball.
Yeah, both teams rated in the KMA Land rankings, Derek's rankings there, and both teams playing really well after the first of the year. Both teams still hot. Shenandoah coming off a tough one their last time out, but Atlantic's just white hot right now.
Yeah, Atlantic won 3 in a row. Got a really nice win over a state-rated St. Albert team last week. They are playing some really good basketball. They played some really tough teams as of late as well. We mentioned St. Albert. They played Harlan. Recently, they've got another matchup with Harlan coming up. Shenandoah has hit a little bit of a stride after Christmas break. They had won 5 in a row prior to that hiccup to Lewis Central, a very good Lewis Central team we should add, and they are starting to play some good basketball right now. Shenandoah comes into this matchup there, hovering right around 500, 9-8 to be exact, with a 2-5 record in the Hawkeye 10 under head coach John Weinrich. Atlantic is 12-4 with a 5-2 record in the Hawkeye 10. They are ranked number 14 in Class 3A. Now, the lineup for them will look like this: Peyton Harder, Aubrey Geyer, Jada Jensen, Madison Huddleston, and Kira Olson. For Shenandoah, it's Chloe Denton, Macy Finley, Caroline Rogers, Jenna Burdorf, and Lene Green. TJ, as they're announcing the lineups right now, these two teams played earlier this year. It was an Atlantic win by 12 right before Christmas break. But again, both these teams playing better since then. What are you looking for here tonight?
Well, you know, it was kind of a tale of two halves the first time they played. Atlantic jumped way out early, big halftime lead. Shenandoah made it interesting in the second half, and that was kind of the coming out party for Chloe Denton, who was playing coming off the bench in that ball game. She had 16 points in that game off the bench, and she started every game ever since. They got a couple of scorers now in the starters, those two sophomores, Denton and Green. It'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how both teams choose to defend in this game coming off of the game that they played back in mid-December.
Yeah, and when I look at these two teams, you mentioned with Shenandoah, you've got Denton and Green. They've obviously shown right now that's going to be a combo over the next couple of years in KMA Land basketball to keep an eye on. And then you look at like the Atlantic side, Peyton Harder, Jada Jensen, I feel like they've been in school for a long time. In a lot of ways, maybe Shenandoah is very similar to this Atlantic team with some youth that'll probably get a lot of playing time in the future. Anthem on the way, Shan Atlantic coming up as well. Can't make sense.
This very moment, a board-certified general surgeon will be leading her team in the removal of her patient's gallbladder. In this newly remodeled surgical suite, she'll use the latest technology and small laparoscopic incisions for a quicker recovery time. In a couple of weeks, the patient will have a pain-free and normal life again. These are the things that happen here every day. The new surgical center at Shenandoah Medical Center. Your health is our mission.
Here it is. This is where my passion is my major.
With more than 80 areas of study, dozens of clubs and activities to choose from, and advisors who ask the right questions and offer support, it's easy to be you at Iowa Western.
It's always been my dream to own a locker.
You like school that much, huh?
Actually, no, my own meat locker.
I'm processing.
So, what do you think?
Well, if that's your it, let's make it happen.
Welcome back to Shenandoah here in the KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader joined by the brilliant TJ Young with you here tonight. Non-conference, technically, high school girls basketball action between a pair of Hawkeye 10 conference schools, Atlantic and Shenandoah. If you're watching at home, first off, thank you. We very much appreciate it. Atlantic is the road team tonight. They're donning the black jerseys with the yellow numbers. And for Shenandoah, the customary whites with the maroon numbers. Lene Green will jump for Shenandoah. And it looks like it'll be Aubrey Geyer doing the honors for Atlantic. So get ready to get this girls basketball battle underway here on this cool Tuesday night, late January. And with the tip is won by Shenandoah. They'll bring it up and across. Chloe Denton Running point for the Phillies out near the Shenandoah logo. Will bounce past left side Caroline Rogers. Rogers in the lane, Berdorf. Down low, Green. Green goes up strong and gets it to go.
Yeah, easy bucket. Good high-low offense against that 1-2-2 for Atlantic.
That's going to be a emphasis, I imagine, tonight for Shenandoah, being able to get it down to Lene Green against that 1-2-2. Now with it out top for Atlantic is Kira Olsen. She gives to Aubrey Geyer. Back out top, Jada Jensen will reset the offense. Jensen might have got away with a double dribble. Now they'll entry pass it in. Olsen right back out. Jensen right back in the lane. Olsen 2 defenders, 3 defenders collapse on her. She'll kick out right side Harder. Down to 10 on the shot clock, by the way. Jensen right back to Harder. Right back to Jensen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. They'll go in the lane. Geyer, tough shot, no good. Missed it. Offensive rebound, though, by Peyton Harder. And a reset offensively for Atlantic. Now Jensen will pull it out and slow it down. She's got a top of the key. She'll launch a 3. No good. And that time the rebound is still on the floor. Olsen gets to it for Atlantic. A couple offensive rebounds for Atlantic early, and then a bucket by Jada Jensen. Atlantic makes Shenandoah pay with the offensive boards.
Yeah, and you played really good half-court defense for a full minute, and then you give up 2 offensive boards and then an easy layup and then a turnover on the other end.
Geyer gets the steal. She feeds it into Peyton Harder, who gets fouled going up. So free throws coming up for Harder. First foul of the contest, that one on Lene Green. And Harder at the charity stripe. Buries the first one. Get Atlantic 12-4 on the year. A 3-game tear as of late. The next one from Harder is good as well. And it's a 4-2 Trojan lead. Extended pressure for the Phillies. They try to devise a plan to attack it. They get it across half court with Caroline Rogers. She's got 2 defenders on her, so she'll go left side Finley. In the lane, Berdorf. Berdorf back out, Finley left side. Finley will set it back out to Rogers. Rogers, right wing Denton. Right back out top, the key Rogers. Right back, right side Denton. Tried to swing it into Berdorf. Deflected, stolen away. Aubrey Geyer gets the steal. And here come the Trojans. Right corner, Harder. Back out, right wing, Huddleston. Now left side, Jensen. Goes in the lane, Olsen. Kick back out, right side, 3, Harder. Left it short. Another offensive rebound. This one sets up a long 2 from Jensen. There's nothing but nylon.
Yeah, and again, half-court defense really good for Shenandoah, but they've got to win the glass. And right now, Atlantic is owning the glass.
Yeah, Atlantic's 3 buckets have come off 2 offensive rebounds and a turnover. Rogers, kick out right side, Denton, 3, missed it short. Berdorf couldn't get to it. It goes out of bounds back to Atlantic. 5:31 left here in the first quarter. 6-2. Atlantic leading this one.
You can't get frustrated on the offensive end for Shenandoah. It's still early. That looked like a settle 3 there for Denton. They can get that shot whenever they want.
And not a bad look. It wasn't there by any means. Atlantic goes down low. Geyer. 2 defenders crash on her. She'll throw it back out top. Jensen. Right side, Huddleston. Back in the lane. Geyer will kick back out. Huddleston, kind of an errant pass, tracked down by Huddleston. Now Jensen, right back to Huddleston. Down to 10 on the shot clock, by the way. Jensen, top of the key, 3. Missed it off the glass. No good. Off the backboard, rather, no good. But another offensive rebound. This one by Peyton Harder. And then a stoppage. Yeah, shot clock should have reset, right? Because it hit.
Yep, backboard. Then, yeah, that's the right call. It's a good job by the trail official there to spot that. So they've got it reset now to 30.
It gives Shenandoah a chance to make some substitutions as well. Looks like Berdorf and Denton will come out for the Phillies. Cassidy Stevens in for Shenandoah. Inbound in, 2 defenders there as they collapse on Harder. I think Caroline Rogers might have been the fouler on that one. We'll wait and see the official decision. Yes, it's a foul on Caroline Rogers. Also looks like Abigail Martin into the game for Shenandoah. Inbound out top, Huddleston chases it down near half court. Now goes to Jensen. Jensen, left side, Geyer. Back to Jensen in the corner. Jensen will kick out left side, 3, Geyer. It's good, but I think a 3-second call wipes it off, and it does.
Again, the half-court defense for Shenandoah and for Atlantic, for that matter, has been really good. It's the rebounding and the turnovers right now for Shenandoah, but give credit to Atlantic. They're forcing turnovers and they're crashing the glass.
Claire Pellet now into the game for Atlantic as Shenandoah tries to figure out how to break this 1-2-2 look that Atlantic's showing right now. They'll go left corner, Rogers. Back out top, deflected, stolen away Jensen as they tried to go to Stevens. Another Shenandoah turnover, and they'll walk it across with Geyer. Geyer to Jensen. Pellet left side. Little ball fake, kick back out top. Huddleston. Pass in the lane. Harder, who goes right back to Huddleston. They go around the perimeter. They'll go right back in the lane. Geyer misses the shot. Lene Green gets a rebound. She's done a lot of that so far this year.
Yeah, she is the conference leader right now in rebounds, total rebounds. So that's a pretty good stat for a sophomore to have in the Hawkeye 10.
She had kind of a couple of gaudy stat lines to start the new year. Earning her Jim Hughes Real Estate Cam Mayland Athlete of the Week honors. The first one's in 2023, and she's been a big part of their success so far this year.
Yeah, she's kind of turned into a double-double machine, and that's hard to do in this league, especially as a sophomore.
Seems like Shenandoah always has really good post players, dating back to, of course, Logan Hughes, Serena Parker. Under 4 left in the first, 6-2 Atlantic in a travel on Finley as they tried to weave it, and Finley couldn't get it under control, and it's another costly Shenandoah turnover.
And the thing with that dribble handoff, it's right now against that 1-2-2, you don't need it to be that tight because there's nobody trailing. So you just need to recognize and take better care of the basketball. It's 4 turnovers already for the Phillies.
Jensen thought about the 3, tap the key, gives to Huddleston. Now they'll entry it inside to Harder, rack to Jensen. Bounce pass into Geyer. Kick back out Jensen. Open left side 3 is no good. Another rebound by Lene Green. Here comes Shenandoah. Errant pass thrown away. Stevens threw it away. It was stolen by Harder, and a run out front. Jensen lays it up and in. And that's going to prompt a Shenandoah timeout. Turnovers dooming the Phillies right now. It's 8-2. Atlantic's defense creating turnovers right now on Shenandoah. 5 of them so far, and they have an early 8-2 lead here, TJ Young.
Yeah, again, it's just kind of that same old song and dance. When things go wrong for the Phillies, it is kind of the turnovers. That's about every team, though, at this level. If things go wrong, it's usually turnovers. Just got to clean it up and settle down. This is a team, both teams should be competitive as long as they don't let it get away.
Stevens almost traveled, got rid of it before doing so. Now she's got it left corner. Bounce pass in Green. Green working on Geyer. Draws the and one. Nice finish by Lene Green.
Yeah, and you see right there why she has kind of turned into a double-double machine. She was getting bodied from the back, and then she got Jensen reaching in from the front, still had the strength to throw it up off the glass for the and one.
So Green converts the old school three-point play. She's got all 5 points for Shenandoah. That foul, by the way, as TJ alluded to, on Jada Jensen, her first. Quickly the other way, Atlantic, short 2, no good by Harder. Rebound by Berdorf, who's back into the game for the Phillies. The other way, Denton got bumped and a foul.
Yeah, that's the right call. Just got her with the body a little bit there. The dribblers for Shenandoah getting themselves into the corners and to the sidelines, and that can be a problem. Fortunate for the Phillies that time that they weren't turning the ball over there.
Now Shenandoah inbounded into the backcourt. Cassidy Stevens with it. Picks up her dribble. Tough pass into Green. Got it off a deflection. 2 defenders there. Geyer trying to force the jump ball, and they say she did. And that essentially works as a turnover.
Yeah, and that's the lob pass when you're fronting the defender is definitely tough. And then Green caught it under the basket. Should have immediately kicked it out and reset there.
Shenandoah put some pressure on, and that leads to a steal by Jenna Berdorf. Out front, Stevens. Stevens had 3 defenders on her. Kicks out right side. Denton, 3 is good, and we're tied.
And that's a dynamic of this Phillies offense that they were kind of missing the first half of the season. The guards making threes at a higher clip, and Denton kind of has been giving them that lately. That's a big, big 3.
Stevens and Denton maybe had a nice trap right at half court, but a little too much contact. prompts the foul call.
And I think that's on Rogers. Yeah, that's 2, and that's a big, big foul because she's kind of – I've called a lot of their games this year. So she's kind of the head of the snake as far as their defense goes. Very, very aggressive, and she's going to have to sit now with 2.
Macy Finley in for her right now. Atlantic swings it in to Pellet. She threw it back out and couldn't be tracked down by Harder, and it's a turnover on Atlantic. Are they going to say it was touched? They're going to say it was touched by Shan.
Yeah, it may have been tipped there. Nope, they're going to discuss it here. But that ended up being a really good timeout call there by Coach Weinrich.
Yeah.
Phillies looked really frazzled first 3-4 minutes of the game. That timeout kind of settled them down. You get an and 1 from Green, and then a kind of a turnover, a fast break 3 from Denton in the corner, and now we're all square, 8-8 with a whole lot of ball game to play.
The officials are having a conversation about this, whether or not it was tipped out of bounds off of Shenandoah and will stay with Atlantic, or if it was thrown away.
You think that's what they're talking about?
Maybe, or maybe they're planning on what they're going to do for dinner afterwards.
We moved the game time up a half an hour just so maybe you could get down to the depot here in Shenandoah.
They're going to say Atlantic basketball. I will say the 7 o'clock single game start.
You're a fan of that?
Pretty great, especially, when I live 3 blocks from the school, definitely so. Maybe not if I've got to drive a couple hours. Atlantic basketball, Jensen will go in the lane. Geyer, kind of tall pass, got it back. Now Jensen goes right side, Harder, 3, missed it short. Rebound is saved by Stevens. Nice job by her to keep it in play. Here comes Shenandoah. Denton trying to break the pressure. Gets it to Stevens. They got to get it across in about a second, and they might have got away with that. Kick out right side, Denton. Back to Stevens. Stevens weaves through the defense, and then a jump ball. This one will stay with Shenandoah. 1:28 left in the first. I say they might have got away with a 10-second violation, TJ, because now with the shot clock, it's really easy to tell as far as the 10 count. If it's at 25, that's 10 seconds. It looked like she was at 24 before they got it across half court, but Shenandoah will take it as here's a 3 left short by Finley. Gets her own rebound. And a reset for the Phillies. So give to Denton. 1:15 left in the first. Left side, Stevens. Stevens, cross court. Well, won't actually want to go in the lane to Green. It's stolen away by Harder. Thought she was going to go cross court. They had an open Philly over here in the right corner. Right side, Richter. Richter back out top of the key. Jensen, a 3. It's good. Jada Jensen with 9 of Atlantic's 11 so far. And it has been the Jada Jensen, Lene Green show up to this point for the respective teams. Here's Stevens. Launches a deep 3 that is good.
Yeah, matching threes. The duel continues. We're all square here. Just over 30 seconds to go in the quarter. It's been a fun one.
It was 8-2 Atlantic early on. Shenandoah's got some offense now. We're not at 11. Denton almost got a steal playing from behind. Now Jensen gets it out top near the S logo. About a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Jensen just going to dribble around the logo right now. He kind of, I don't want to say play for the last shot, but you can really wind this possession down. That's what Atlantic's doing. Now they'll go right side, Richter. Richter right back to Jensen in the lane, tipped around, out of bounds. They will say Shenandoah basketball with 6.4 left.
It's really good interior defense. When the ball gets shifted into the corner, Shenandoah is overloading that block, that ball side block, which makes it really difficult to get the ball into Harder or Geyer or anybody. And that was an evidence of it right there. Good job by the Phillies on defense.
Shenandoah basketball, final seconds of the quarter. Finley a little indecisive, gets it to Green. Green, deep 3's well short. Harder with the rebound, and she traveled at the end of the half and then the quarter. But fun first quarter comes to a close, 11-11 here on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
Every inch of your body puts pressure on one place, your feet. So give your feet everything they could ask for by walking in to Brown Shoe Fit Shenandoah. Shoes for every occasion, boots for any situation, and above all, the right fit for you. After all, Brown Shoe Fit has been fitting feet for over 100 years. The only downside, so many shoes to choose from and only 2 feet. Great service, great selection, a great fit every time at Brown Shoe Fit, downtown Shenandoah.
I'll do one more.
Okay. start the second quarter here in Shenandoah. Atlantic basketball, an 11-11 tie. Aubrey Geyer with it right now. She'll give right corner. Jensen a three, missed it short. Rebound by Chloe Denton for Shenandoah. And here come the Phillies the other way. Trying to break this tie. Denton got fouled by Jensen out near half court. And that's a second one on Jensen, and she's got 9 of their 11 points right now, so that's a big one, TJ.
Yeah, both of the kind of heads of the snake on defense, really, with Jensen now sitting with 2 fouls. Rogers sitting with 2 fouls for Shenandoah. That's going to bring in Pellet, I believe. Yeah, Pellet's going to come in. She'll play the top. Not nearly as physical, but maybe a little quicker.
So Shenandoah basketball will go right side. Denton, she overthrew. I think she wanted to go to Green. She overthrew her. Geyer gets the steal. And Atlantic brings it back across. Almost stolen by Denton, and it is stolen by Denton. She got it away, and then she double dribbled, trying to bring it back towards the center of the floor, and it's a turnover in transition for Shenandoah. It might be 2 points wiped off the board, essentially. Like she was about to lay that in and give her team a lead. Pellet right side will go free throw line harder. Now they go right corner. Geyer back out right wing. Pellet back out top of the key. Huddleston long 2 from her. It rattles out. No good. Martin with the rebound for Shenandoah. Bring it across with Finley. Finley being guarded by Pellet. Trying to work through the defenders. Dangerous pass stolen away by Huddleston. Huddleston now with numbers. Working back. Berdorf got a hand on it. Sends it out of bounds. And it'll stay with Atlantic.
Got really good hustle, good trap by Atlantic. You can't dribble in place against that defense. You got to keep moving the ball. So that's something Shenandoah did a really good job of the last 3.5 minutes, that first quarter, ball movement, player movement, but then really good hustle by Berdorf on the back end to save a layup.
Cassidy Stevens back in for Shenandoah right now. Here's Pellet with it just inside the three-point line. Dribbles right to left out near the free throw line. Now gives to Huddleston, top of the key. Huddleston kicks left side. Geyer drives in through the contact, draws the foul. If that's on Green, that's her second. I think it's going to be on Lene Green. It will be.
That's a tough foul call on her. Maybe didn't get there fast enough with her feet, but as far as that verticality rule, I mean, she was pretty well straight up and down there.
So Geyer at the free throw line misses the first one.
Like Coach Weinrich's going to ride with 2 with Green there.
And I know maybe conventional wisdom in basketball or the basketball traditionalists don't like that. I do, especially when you got a player like Lene Green. Geyer misses both. Finley gets the rebound. Shenandoah brings it across. Stevens, 2 defenders on her. Pass to Martin. Martin to Berdorf. Berdorf had it poked away for a second. Kicks back out. Stevens, and 3-second call on Shenandoah.
And I don't know which one they called that on. It could have been Martin or Green there. I feel like it was probably Martin. And she's getting some good minutes here. She plays sporadically so far at the varsity level, but she's getting some good minutes here in the first half of this one.
She now comes out. Caroline Rogers back in for Shenandoah. 6:15 left in the first half. 11-11 our score. No points in the second quarter right now. Dangerous pass, deflected, stolen away. It's Rogers that comes up with it for Shenandoah. Out front, Finley, and they're going to call the charge on Macy Finley. Pellet through the contact. Finley gets called for the offensive foul. I don't love that call.
Well, I don't know if I'm a fan of the call. I don't know if I like the decision. It was just a really slow, fast break. The defense had tons of time to tie their shoe, tell a story, have a picnic. You got to be quicker than that making those decisions when you're the ball handler.
Right side Harder with it. Jada Jensen back into the game, by the way, with 2 fouls. Here's Harder, right side, back out. Jensen will go around the perimeter. Huddleston 3 for the lead. Missed it short. Green with the rebound, and then she's fouled. All of a sudden, it's become a little bit of a whistle fest here in the last couple of moments.
Better ball movement that time for Atlantic as they're trying to find a bucket like Shenandoah here in this second quarter. Better ball movement, got a wide open shot. They struggle a little bit from 3, about 25% on the year. But it's a wide open look.
Finley gets it away to Stevens, right side. Now in the lane, Green. It was tipped in front of her. Harder gets it. I think Green took a shot to the jaw or somewhere up top as they go up the floor. Harder hits the deck, and she travels.
It's getting a little chippy out here. Not dirty.
No.
Just a little chippy, I think.
And I'm
refs
fine
are
with
maybe
that
gonna
no call
tighten
as
it up a
well
little bit.
on Burdorf. She didn't really do anything when her and Harder collided.
Yeah, now might be a good time for those kids with 2 fouls to get to get taken out of the game for a hot minute, because the whistles might be a little tighter.
Here's Stevens with it, being guarded by Jensen. You can tell Jensen's trying to play timid with the 2 fouls. Stevens misses a shot, gets her own rebound, but then goes out of bounds trying to save it. Yeah, Jada Jensen basically just let Cassidy Stevens walk on by her.
That's a smart, heady play by the senior. All conference and about everything. She's played enough games in any sport that she's pretty heady.
Atlantic had numbers bringing it across. They'll slow it down, though. That sets up a long 2 pellet for the lead. No good. Still no points so far in the second quarter of this game. Green throws it out front. They'll go to Green on the feed from Burdorf, and she's fouled by Pellet, and free throws coming up for Lene Green.
Yeah, kind of that hockey assist there from Rogers. Rogers wasn't looking when the ball was in flight, turned around. Oop, there's the ball. And then gets it to Burdorf,
did a nice job finding.
who then got it to Green for now the foul opportunity.
We've got timeout on the floor. Looks like it's a 30.
Heritage Bank is proud to be a locally owned community bank. We have been committed to our community and meeting the financial needs of our customers since 1873. We are confident that our knowledgeable staff can help you make informed decisions about your financial needs, no matter how big or small. Let us show you how rewarding a relationship with First Heritage Bank can be. Stop in at one of our 2 locations, or you can find out more information at www.fhbshen.com. First Heritage Bank is a proud supporter of Shenandoah High School athletics. Go Shen, member FDIC.
Lene Green to the free throw line coming out of this timeout. It is 11-11 here in the second quarter. 4:50 left in the second quarter, and Lene Green gets the first points of the second quarter for either team and gives Shenandoah, I believe, their first lead of the night at 12-11, and Green gets the friendly roll.
Things are going good when you hit the front of the rim and then it rolls in.
13-11. Green's got 7 now for the Phillies. Here's Huddleston, got fouled going up.
Yeah, and you can see Coach Weinrich. We talked about it before we went on break. He was kind of getting after Rogers there because she was bellying up the dribbler out front, and he's like, hey, you've got 2 fouls, and the refs are maybe going to start to tighten this thing up a little bit, and she'll probably back off for the rest of the half.
That one was on Burdorf, by the way, her first. Meanwhile, at the free throw line, Huddleston gets her first points of the night by knocking the first one down. 13-12, our score, 4:38 left in the first half. Huddleston gets them both, and we're back even at 13. Shenandoah trying to break Atlantic's pressure. They get it across with Green. Green had it poked away from behind. Gets it back near half court. Gives to Burdorf. Burdorf through to Stevens. Had the right idea. I think Stevens caught a second too early, TJ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, both kids had the right idea, right?
Yeah.
Stevens was behind the defense. Burdorf turned and saw her open and cutting. Just passed it where she was, not where she was going.
4:20 left here in this first half. Still 13 all. Maddie Richter back into the game for Atlantic. Gives it back to Huddleston, right wing. Right back, Richter. Richter, a little head fake. Bounce pass back out, Huddleston. Huddleston will force it in the lane. Kira Olsen can't get the shot off the glass. Another rebound by Lene Green. And Shenandoah brings it across. Stevens to Rogers in the lane. Burdorf. Burdorf working on Geyer. Blocked by Geyer. It is tipped out of bounds, though, by Atlantic. It'll stay with Shenandoah.
And, you can kind of pick on the offenses and say that, it's just not pretty basketball, but this has been really good defense by both of these teams for the first quarter and a half.
Here's a deep 3. Rogers missed it short. Rebound by Geyer for Atlantic. 3:45 left here in the first half. Jensen goes to Huddleston. Back out top. Jensen 3 for the lead. No good. Couldn't get it to finish, and a rebound by Lene Green. Stevens brings it across half court, goes to Denton, who's back in the game. Denton went back out top to Stevens. It's touched out of bounds by Atlantic.
And Stevens, lucky she didn't get called for over and back there, because she had established herself and then dribbled on the other side, which I think that's illegal.
I think so.
I think so.
I don't know much, but I'm pretty sure it is. Here's Stevens, a deep three for the lead. Missed it short. Jostle for the rebound underneath. Bodies on the floor, and Green with 2 fouls was just able to pluck it away. Sets up a three. Denton, no good. Again, the rebound on the floor. Stevens got the rebound and then traveled.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate there for the Phillies because everybody's fighting, both sides fighting, scrapping, clawing, and then she got possession and then rolled. And they're always going to call that a travel.
Yeah.
Whether it is or it isn't, they always call it, and it's not giving the offensive player an advantage by rolling, I guess, but there you go.
Finley comes back in now for Shenandoah. Under 3 left in the half. Left corner, Jensen with a touch. Goes in Olsen. Now a top of the key three is no good from Huddleston. Another rebound by Lene Green. Shenandoah brings it across Rogers. Right side, Denton came streaking along the baseline. Gives it right back to Rogers. Her and Jensen are fighting for it. Jensen kind of a dangerous play there for her with 2 fouls. Creates the jump ball. The arrow will stay with Shenandoah.
Yeah, and both of them, 2 fouls.
Yeah.
Rogers and Jensen, and they're both very physical, aggressive players.
Finley with it out top. Will drive in. Bounce pass out left side, Berdorf. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Berdorf back out top to Rogers. Rogers back to Berdorf. Right side, Denton. Denton, 3 for the lead. Missed it short. Long rebound. Tracked down by Finley in the corner. Now here's Green at the free throw line. She'll just put her head down. Kick out right side. Denton couldn't hang on to it. Gets it back, though. Right back to Green. Green right back to Rogers. Shenandoah will be methodical offensively. Denton right side. Bounce pass in. Berdorf, long 2 from her. Again, no good. And there is a lid on the cup right now, it feels like, for both teams.
Yeah, no field goals so far, just 2 free throws each way. And a disjointed possession for Shenandoah, but ended up with a good look. Both teams have had good looks. They're just not falling.
Huddleston drives in, picks up her dribble, kick out left side. Richter, 3, no good. Green, another rebound, and then she's fouled as well. Underneath. That one should put a 1-and-1 coming up for Shenandoah, and it will. That's on Kira Olsen, her first.
Green's got to have 8 rebounds.
I've got her with 9.
Yeah. She's well on her way.
So the first free throw from Green, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It's off Geyer.
Yeah, that's a good call. Geyer had position. She was the last to touch it there. Shenandoah is going to get a possession out of this, kind of steal one.
They go right down low. Green, it's through her legs not out of bounds, but into the hands of Geyer for Atlantic. And here come the Trojans. 90 seconds left in the half. Tied at 13. Jensen gets a high screen, pops a 3, no good. Green gets her 10th rebound of the night. And here comes Shenandoah up the floor. They'll bounce it left side. Denton collides with the defender. She collided with Richter, and I think they're going to say
it's just off of
Richter.
Yeah, and if you're not going to call a foul there, at least give the ball back to the player that got knocked down. So good job, good officiating.
Minute 10 left here in the first half. Denton will swing left side. Finley right back to Denton. Right side 3 for the lead from Stevens. No good. Neither team can buy a bucket right now. Aubrey Geyer got the rebound, and Jada Jensen will walk it up. Under a minute left in the first half. No field goals so far in the second quarter. Geyer kick out. Jensen, a little head fake. She'll go left side long to Huddleston. It's no good. Green gets her 10th rebound of the night, or maybe it's her 11th. And Shenandoah brings it across, only for it to be deflected. Stolen away by Jada Jensen. Jensen, at last a field goal. She's got 11, and it's a 15-13 Atlantic lead with 25 seconds left in the half. Shenandoah gets it across half court with Berdorf on the left side. Berdorf goes Finley, who draws a double team back out top to Stevens. Down to 12 left in the quarter. Stevens driving through, had it poked away. Geyer comes up with it, and just kind of a tough foul for Stevens. I think she was trying to get the ball and latched onto Geyer's wrist. It's going to create a 1-and-1. Coming up for Aubrey Geyer.
A little bit of an over dribble there for for Stevens. And again, I think that's probably human nature for a lot of these kids is the ball hasn't gone in the hoop for a whole quarter, and you're just trying to maybe try a little too hard. Old coach of mine used to say sometimes you just got to try easier, and maybe that's what's going to happen in the second half.
Atlantic will sit Jensen with the 2 fouls as Geyer's first free throw is good, so she'll get a second one. It's 16-13. With 7.6 left in the half. Geyer's next one from the charity stripe is no good. Berdorf gets the rebound for Shenandoah. 4, 3, 2. Here's Denton, long 3 to tie it. 2, just long. And that is how the half ends. So kind of a clunky second quarter. And we go to the break, 16-13 Atlantic leading here on the KMA Extreme, KMAland.com.
United Group Insurance is a team of people you know and people you trust. We offer home, auto, farm, crop, life, health, and commercial insurance from our convenient offices in Atlantic, Griswold, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. Our team of agents work together to make sure our customers find an insurance policy they feel great about. We offer a variety of insurance carriers, so you can choose what works for your coverage needs. Learn more at United Group INS.
Which is crazy.
This is Kane with Gowing Plumbing. Gowing Plumbing is the name to remember for 24-hour service. That includes after hours and weekends, because that is when problems usually occur. We're located in Shenandoah, but we also serve the surrounding communities. That's the way it's been done for more than 70 years. And we work on boiler heat, so call fully licensed Gowing Plumbing any time of day or night. 246-1803 or after hours at 712-310-9248.
We've got a good old-fashioned rock fight going on here tonight in Shenandoah, 16-13. I hope you took the under. Atlantic leading Shenandoah. Trevor Mader, TJ Young with you here tonight. And TJ, I know the second quarter of that game, obviously the offense was hard to come by. But I really feel like a lot of this game has been more so both teams playing good defense so far.
Both teams playing good defense and in different ways. Shenandoah is not full court pressing. They're staying back in that matchup zone that kind of amoebas into really an overload defense when the ball gets shifted. And for Atlantic, they're doing that 1-2-2, bringing it full court and really trying to trap you and pressure you and turn you over, which is what happened in the first half. For Shenandoah, we had talked during the break, 18 turnovers in the first half, Atlantic just 5. So for Shenandoah in the locker room, you're minus 13 in turnovers. You didn't make a field goal for an entire quarter, and you're only down 3.
Against a state-rated team.
Against a state-rated team.
Who's playing really good.
You got to feel pretty good about where you are. And for Atlantic, you can say, we couldn't throw it in the ocean for an entire quarter, for an entire half. They got to feel fortunate. They're up by 3. I think we're going to see the lids come off the baskets in the second half.
First quarter they were.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams were getting open looks. Chloe Denton hit a 3 from outside. Jada Jensen had a couple for Atlantic. And you're like, all right, we're on pace for both teams to work their inside-out game well. And then in the second quarter, I know both teams struggled offensively. We'll see what adjustments Coach Vargason makes for Atlantic and Coach Weinrich makes for Shenandoah. Jada Jensen, by the way, leading Atlantic, 11 points for them. And then for Shenandoah, Lene Green, right now just on pace for another Lene Green night, 7 points, 11 rebounds.
Yeah, and both of them, they're 2 leading scorers, playmakers, if you will. Jada Jensen's the top steals getter in the conference and the top assist getter in the conference. But tonight she's getting it done points-wise, and she's averaging double figures in points as well. Surprisingly, Harder has struggled to put the biscuit in the basket tonight, but for Shenandoah, Green is what Green has been, really, since the 2023 calendar year. She's been very, very good and dominant inside on the glass.
So fun one so far. Here is we're at the half, 16-13. Atlantic leading Shenandoah. We're going to step aside for a little bit. When we come back, we'll get you set for the second half here on the KMA Extreme.
Sorensen Auto Plaza in Shenandoah has been here over 25 years, and they specialize in financing. Buy here, pay here. At Sorensen Auto Plaza, they finance all credit types. Bad credit, no problem. Visit SorensenAutoplaza.com to apply for financing and stop by and visit us on Sheridan Avenue. Sorensen Auto Plaza, Proud to support this Shenandoah live stream.
Do one more and then you can mute it.
From large projects to daily tasks, we can help at Miller Building Supply in Shenandoah. This is Josh, and we pride ourselves on quality products, knowledge, and service. We're always available for advice on the projects that take years to design or the issues that need fixed in a hurry. And we offer free estimates on anything and everything you need to complete both. When you have a demand, we offer the supply. Miller Building Supply in Shenandoah.
Getting ready to begin the second half here in Shenandoah. Trevor Mander alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, TJ Young. A fun girls basketball battle tonight, and it is a 16-13 Atlantic lead as we go to the second half. TJ, the first quarter of this game was very free-flowing. Both teams were finding some offense. The second quarter turned into a rock fight per se.
Yeah.
As we go to the third quarter, what are you looking for? What are you expecting?
I'm looking for basketballs to go inside the orange cylinders tonight, and I think that they will. I think both coaches probably settled the kids down. It was pretty physical in that first half. Not dirty by any means, but just a physical Hawkeye 10 basketball game. And the offenses weren't so much bad as the defenses were just really good, and they were really on point defensively, getting done what they wanted to get done. So I think you get 2 quarters in, you can settle in a little bit, and I think shots might start falling.
It's Atlantic basketball to start the second half. They've got it out top Jada Jensen. She's got 11 for them so far tonight. Here's Harder, right wing Jensen. Jensen will go back out, right side Huddleston 3. It's missed, and Geyer with the offensive rebound. Sets up a long 2, Jensen, and it's good.
Well, I mean, there you go. And that was the start for Atlantic.
They had 2 offensive rebounds turned into a bucket. And now it's Atlantic by 5. Shenandoah going to have to try to find a way to get across half court quickly. Denton does so. No, Coach Weinrich says we better take a timeout to save it. And let's keep it here on the KMA Extreme. Just 36 seconds into the second half. It's an 18-13 Atlantic lead. Jada Jensen now with 13 to lead the Trojans. She's been their offense. She's got 13. Harder and Huddleston with 2. Aubrey Geyer with 1.
Yeah, and that was a really good save by Coach Weinrich. That ticks another second. It's a 10-second violation and a turnover. But again, really good half-court defense by Shenandoah. Just couldn't finish it out, just like the start of the ball game. And then Atlantic, again, that defense, that 1-2-2 three-quarter court, it's really putting pressure on the dribblers for Shenandoah. And it takes maybe a hot minute to get back used to it, and maybe that's kind of what we just had.
And now between the two teams, they're combined 3 of 23 from beyond the arc. Here's Caroline Rogers with it. She gives to Finley. Finley, left side, Denton. Denton, left side, Finley. Right back to Denton. Down to 10 on the shot clock, by the way. Finley will launch a 3. No good. Green, good positioning underneath. Gets another rebound. 2 defenders on her. Lene Green works around him. Can't get the shot to go, and Huddleston comes up with the rebound.
Yeah, good look in the corner by Finley. Good rebound and putback attempt. Just, again, just struggling to put the ball in the basket right now are the Phillies.
Here's Jensen with it out top for Atlantic. 20 seconds left in the shot clock. She'll give a high post feed to Geyer. Huddleston right back to Jensen. Right back to Huddleston. In the lane, Harder. Got it off a deflection. Back to Jensen. Errant pass in the lane. I think they wanted to go to Geyer. It's into the hands of Berdorf. And here comes Shenandoah. 6:25 left in the third, down by 5. Pass was kicked by Geyer. It'll stay with Shenandoah. Phillies 9-8 on the year, 2-5 in Hawkeye 10 conference play. Atlantic 12-4 and 5-2, ranked number 14 in Class 3A. Pass was read nicely by Huddleston. She's got a steal and a run out. She lays it up and in. And it's a 7-point Atlantic lead. They've got the first 4. 4 of the first 6. No, the first 4 actually, of the second half. To grow their lead to 20-13. Berdorf will kick Denton 3. They need it, and it is not there. Green rebound and putback they need it. It is there.
And maybe that's kind of the offense right now for Shan. Just shoot a soft shot and let Lene Green go to work on the glass.
Well, the other way, Geyer gets an and 1, going to the cup. And Atlantic now with 6 points in the second half. Grows their lead to 22-15.
It just seems like a mountain. That a 7-point lead, the way this game's flowed, just seems kind of like a mountain.
Well, now it's an 8-point lead as Geyer buries that one. That foul by the way on Jenna Berdorf, her second. 23-15, 5:45 left here in the third quarter. Berdorf down low, Green got behind her defender and lays it in. She's got 11.
Double-double there. There you go. And again, that high-low, they ran that high-low first play of the game. Since then, they haven't done that, and it's there.
23-17 now our score. Geyer gets it at the high post. She'll pull it out. and give it back to Jensen. Jensen gets a high screen from Olsen. Kick out right side. Huddleston three. No good. Finley with the rebound, and she wants to bring it across quickly. Finley. Nice dish out right side. Rogers. Rogers draws two defenders. Had it poked away. Jensen gets the steal. It was Geyer that got the original hand on it, and here comes Atlantic. I believe it's the 20th turnover of the night for Shenandoah. Huddleston with two defenders on her. Gives to Harder. Back out top of the key. Geyer, little ball fake. Now driving in. And a whistle and a 3-second call in Atlantic.
The half-court defense, I've said it probably 18 times in our broadcast, but
it's been good.
Both teams, the half-court defense, it's not bad offense. I mean, it's just really good half-court defense.
Shenandoah brings it across the timeline. They had numbers. Here's Denton. Denton will slow it down out top. Finley in the lane over through Burdorf.
Yeah, that's a tough catch for Burdorf. I mean, I think Finley was thinking Burdorf was going to pop out. Burdorf was hunkering down on the block, and just an unforced turnover there.
23-17, 4.5 left here in the third. Huddleston goes right side. Harder. Jensen. Geyer draws the foul. When Jensen got the touch, Geyer's defender popped out to get Jensen. That left Geyer open. Nice feed by Jensen there, and Geyer now will go to the free throw line.
Yeah. Super quick ball movement there from Atlantic on the back end there to get Geyer to the line.
Third one on Jenna Burdorf now. Is Geyer, who has not had a good night at the free throw line, misses the first one.
And there's really nothing Burdorf could have done there. She was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. She was guarding a different girl, and then a cutter comes in her area. She's got to foul him.
Burdorf comes out. Abigail Martin, Cassidy Stevens in for Shenandoah. Geyer misses them both. Another rebound for Green. And they'll bring it across Stevens. Stevens picks up her dribble, goes right side. Rogers working on Geyer. Will go back out to Stevens. Here's the top of the key three. Denton, bang!
Big shot, and that they need someone else to step up and score, does Shenandoah, and Atlantic for that matter too. If Denton can get going, watch out.
Down to a 3-point game. Jensen shot no good. Rebound. Missed as well on the putback, and then it was blocked by Green. Geyer thought she had the rebound, but instead she fouls.
Yeah, they're going to get that one on Jensen.
That'll
be
wow.
her third.
Thought maybe it was Geyer that got a little too handsy. They say no, it's on Jada Jensen, her third. 3-point game, advantage Atlantic. Under 4 left here in the third. Rogers along the baseline, off of Huddleston, out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a tough play. Rogers going baseline behind the hoop. 3 defenders right there. The baseline drive's probably not going to be there against this zone.
Stevens will be the inbounder. She'll go out top. Denton right back to Stevens. 3 to tie it. No good. Long rebound into the hands of Madison Huddleston. And Atlantic the other way. Stevens got in the passing lane. Steals it.
Super good hustle by Stevens down there to come up with that steal.
Stevens had it deflected back to her. Traveled. Tried to work around the double team and just took one too many steps.
And she could have dribbled through that because she passed the ball. It got tipped, and I think sometimes kids kind of get in a panic mode when they get trapped. Like, step through like you did, but you dribble through it.
Maddie Richter now into the game for Atlantic. 23-20, 3:18 left here in the third. Here's a 3, Richter. It's well short. Rebound fumbled around into the hands of Abigail Martin, and here come the Phillies. Rogers will pull it out of trouble. Denton 3 for the tie. Bang!
That's big. 9 points now for her to go along with 11 for Green, I believe, right?
Yeah, they've combined it for 20.
Yeah. And if she can make threes, that's going to open things up for Lene Green and company inside.
It's an 8-0 Shenandoah run after back-to-back threes from Chloe Denton. We're tied at Atlantic timeout, 2:55 left in the third.
The strength of a house starts with its foundation, just like the strength of a community starts with its education to ensure its success for many generations to come. The Shenandoah Iowa Education Foundation strives to bring world-class education and opportunities to the youth of Shenandoah. Visit ShenandoahIowaEducationFoundation.org to become a part of the $100 Club, the Family Challenge, to donate to the Peter J. Weber Scholarship, or to make a general donation. The Shenandoah Iowa Education Foundation, partnering today for success tomorrow.
Well, it's an 8-0 Shenandoah run to tie this at 23-all, 2:55 left here in the third quarter. And TJ Young might be a wizard. You thought the offense would come to life more in the second half, and it really has for both teams. Definitely for Shenandoah here in this little stretch.
Well, if a game is low scoring because the teams are not talented, that's one thing. This game was low scoring not because the teams weren't talented, just because defense was beating offense. And I think in that case, sometimes it takes some time to get that adjustment. The ball starts going through the hoop. We should have a fun one here.
Atlantic basketball out of the timeout. Left side with it is Abby Richter. She'll give it to Maddie Richter. She'll give it back to Huddleston. Huddleston gives it back Richter. Richter down to 15 on the shot clock for Atlantic. Back to Huddleston. Jensen almost had stolen away by Denton. Jensen, contested shot, no good. Green with another rebound for Shenandoah. And the Phillies a chance to take the lead and grow their 8-0 run. Stevens wanted to give to Martin. Martin had already cut, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, by my count, that is 22 turnovers now for the Phillies. So
to be tied.
To be tied, yeah.
You take that.
That just kind of goes to how well they've played defensively tonight.
Richter, left side touch, swings it in the lane. Harder, no good. Martin with the rebound for Shenandoah. They will bring it across. Denton to Rogers in the lane. Green got by her defender, and Shenandoah has the lead.
That's easy pickings right there. Good entry pass by Rogers. Good hockey assist by Denton. And the run continues.
Yeah,
now we got a
Atlantic turnover gives it right back to Shenandoah. 25-23. It's a 10-0 Philly run. Kira Olsen comes in for Atlantic. Under 2 left here in the third. Rogers with it left side. Will kick back out Denton. Right side Finley. Finley in the lane. Green. Green working on Olsen. Works around. They're going to call the travel.
Well, that's tough. That's tough. I'd have to watch it again, but I feel like she didn't. Yeah, I don't think that it was. But, I mean, the call's a call. You got to move on. So
wipes out what could have been a bucket to grow the lead up to 4. Still a 2-point game right now. Minute 30 left in the third. Here's Geyer, long 2 to tie it. She is no good. Green with another rebound.
She's got to have like 18.
She is at 16.
It's close.
Rogers to Martin at the high post. Right side Finley, 3. Might have been partially blocked by Jensen. Give another rebound to Green on that. Green trying to work around her defender. Gets it to go.
It's just super physical. If the double doesn't come and it's one-on-one, the percentages are definitely in Green's favor.
13 points, 17 rebounds for Lene Green, and I feel like there's a lot of coaches in the Hawkeye 10 right now that are saying, we've got 2 more years of having to deal with this. There's Jensen in the lane. Olsen missed it long. Geyer got the rebound and can't get the putback. Rebound tipped into the hands of Green on the deflection by Martin. Under 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Finley out to Denton. Denton, left side Rogers. About a 5-second difference between the shot clock and the play clock, and then Rogers wanted to kick it back out to Denton. She wasn't where she thought she was.
Honestly, that's pretty smart basketball by Rogers. You have the drive and replace.
It's brilliant.
You're
if
supposed
Denton
to have
is there.
the drive and replace as just like man-to-man motion offense, drive and replace, but Denton wasn't there.
So Atlantic now can play for the final shot of the quarter, down 4. Jensen is playing with 3 fouls, has it right now. 10 seconds left now here in the quarter. I think we might see a back screen here in a moment for her, and she gets it from Harder. Kick out right side Geyer. Geyer down to a couple seconds left in the quarter. Had it stolen away by Denton. Denton, long 3 at the horn, was short. Wasn't going to count anyway. But Shenandoah ends the quarter on a 12-0 run. They lead 27-23 after 3 here on the KMX Stream.
Pella Corporation in Shenandoah is growing. Pella is a family-owned company and has a strong heritage that started in 1925. Pella offers a strong benefit package, competitive wages, quarterly bonuses, profit sharing, and more. Pella has a decreased overtime schedule. You'll never work on Sundays, and you will have at least 2 Saturdays off each month to spend more time with your family. Go to careers.pella.com to see what jobs are available and apply today.
experience is not necessary, as Pella will provide training. Pella is an equal opportunity employer.
At this very moment, a board-certified surgeon specializing in female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery is scrubbing up in a newly remodeled surgical center full of the latest technology to give a woman a chance to take back control over her body. It will take less than an hour. There will be minimal recovery time, and afterwards, she'll start to feel normal again. These are the things that happen here every day. The new surgical center at Shenandoah Medical Center. Your health is our mission.
Shenandoah's got 3A number 14 Atlantic on the ropes right now, up 27-23 as we start the fourth on the KMA Extreme at Shenandoah Basketball. They go in the lane. Green working around her defender, missed it short, and then Green picks up the third foul as Harder gets the rebound. See, just a sec, third team foul on Shenandoah in this half.
And for Atlantic, Shenandoah's done a really good job of making them shoot the shots that they don't want to shoot. Long twos, three-pointers, not getting the ball inside as they're trying to do right there, and Green gets a steal.
Yeah, Green a little dangerously played for the steal there with the three fouls. Does get it, though. Gets a 12-0 Shenandoah run. Here's Denton trying to grow that run, and she does.
At 9 second-half points for Denton, now two in double figures here for the Phillies.
30-23, it's a 15-0 Philly run. Geyer working around two defenders, through the contact and one. Stops the drought. Nice step through the defenders by Aubrey Geyer.
Yeah, that's tough. It's a tough call for Shenandoah, but a really good move by Geyer to step through in there and get the N1 opportunity, end the run.
So and one opportunity for Aubrey Geyer is good. She's not had the best of luck at the line tonight, but knocks that one down. It's down to a 4-point game at 30-26. Rogers will drive in, goes to Green. A lot of defenders collapse, and I think there was a foul as they tried to get it into Green, and there was. That's on, I think it's on
Pellet?
Pellet, yeah. It's the third on Pellet, by the way. And now Shenandoah inbounded back out top. Rogers, right side Finley, gives it in the lane. Green backing up her defender, misses it, and she traveled. I don't really know how they call the travel after the shot. And Coach John Weinrich is not very happy. And might have just earned himself.
Well, the official didn't actually give the motion for a technical, so I don't believe it was a technical.
No. I'm a little confused by that sequence because Green backed up her defender, put the shot up, and then the travel came. Coach Weinrich beckoning for an explanation. And he's not going to get it. So Atlantic will bring it back across. Early stages of the fourth quarter, down 4. Harder had a tip back to Jensen. They'll go in the lane. Harder working on Green. No good. Rebound by Berdorf. Notice Shenandoah pulled Green out a little bit more defensively with those three fouls. Here's Denton left side. Cross-court lob. Rogers thought about the step back. Now gives to Denton. She'll go in the lane. Berdorf wanted to thread it out to Finley, but stolen away by Pellet. And here comes Atlantic, still down 4. 6:20 left here in the fourth. Pellet working in on Finley. Gives to Harder. Green, draws her fourth.
Yeah, and you kind of saw that one coming. Harder, they haven't done this with Harder. Harder definitely has a quickness advantage, and she struggled on the block against Green. Get her at the high post and let her take that 1 to 2 dribbles and take her off the dribble.
And I think Green I think she was kind of a little indecisive. Do I just let her go by or do I play her? And she did a little bit of both, just a little too much contact. Harder gets the first one to roll.
And she's struggled so much. And for being such a good scorer, having her see the ball go through the hoop may be exactly what Atlantic needs to get that second score to help out Jada Jensen tonight.
And now Green is out with 4 fouls for the time being. Abigail Martin is in. Both are good from Harder, and it's a 2-point ball game at 30-28, 6:14 left. It's a 5-0 Atlantic spurt now after a 15-0 Shenandoah spurt. Finley, bounce pass in Burdorf. Burdorf working on Harder, no good. Martin with the rebound underneath. And a turnover. She tried to throw it back out to Denton.
And, you know, for Shenandoah, and I don't know how long Coach Weinrich's going to leave Green on the floor or off the floor with the 2-point game. You just got to stem the tide. Just got to stem the tide, keep playing good defense. But there's Harder. There she goes.
Harder gets it on the feet inside, and we're tied at 30. A 7-0 Atlantic spurt. 5:45 left here in regulation. Fun one so far here tonight in Shenandoah. Burdorf, kick out left side. Denton 3 for the lead. In and out, no good. Burdorf rebound underneath. Put it on the floor for a moment, and then it's a jump ball. The arrow goes to Atlantic.
That's a tough one again for Shenandoah. Really good look, and Denton's made 3 of them already here in the second half. Looked good from here, just rattled in and out.
Now Genevieve Jones looks like, Nevaeh Yale rather, will come in for Shenandoah. Burdorf will sit.
So both starting posts on the bench right now for Shenandoah. Tie ball game, 5:32 to go, and a timeout here.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them in the KMX stream.
Here it is. This is where my passion is my major.
With more than 80 areas of study, dozens of clubs and activities to choose from, and advisors who ask the right questions and offer support, it's easy to be you at Iowa Western.
We've got a doozy here tonight on the KMX stream. It is 30-all, 5:32 left here in this one. Class 3A number 14 Atlantic and Shenandoah going out of here tonight. And TJ Young just moments ago, a tough one for Shenandoah with Lene Green, who's just been a beast so far tonight, picking up her 4th foul.
Yeah, really tough, and then Burdorf kind of got dinged a little bit down here on the defensive, or on the offensive end rather. So now back-to-back possessions basically. Now you have backups in the post, and Peyton Harder's starting to get hot, and she's their leading scorer anyways, and they've really held her in check, have the Phillies all game. They can get her going. It might be a quick trigger for Coach Weinrich to get his leading rebounder back in.
Jensen long 2 for the lead, wasn't there. Yale gets the rebound for Shenandoah, and the Phillies, who went on a 15-0 run, now giving up a 7-0 spurt to Atlantic. Cross-court lob, right side. Rogers, nice drive through the lane. Finley for the lead. It's good.
Yeah, her first points of the night, and they couldn't have come at a better time. She doesn't do that very often, but that time it worked out really well.
32-30, 5 minutes to go in this one. Jensen to Huddleston. Huddleston will drive in as there's contact away from the ball. Geyer gives to Jensen, right back to Geyer. Gets the shot to go, and we're tied.
It's just amazing how much more room there is inside with Green and Burdorf both out.
Denton brings it across for Shenandoah. It's tipped out of bounds by Jensen. It'll stay with the Phillies. 4:36 to go in this one. Inbound into Rogers. Left side, Denton, 3 for the lead. Left it short. Rebound is palmed out of bounds. We'll say last touch by Shenandoah. Now we'll see Lene Green come back in with those 4 fouls.
And if I'm Atlantic,
you're attacking, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's got a bullseye on her back right now. You're just really trying to get the ball in, not force it, but trying to get it in there.
Huddleston gives to Pellet. Green has about 2 feet of separation between her and Harder as Harder gets a touch inside, and instead it's a foul on Yale underneath. I think you're gonna see Lene Green try to play a foot or 2 off.
Well, an interesting thing too now, it's something to keep in mind with 4 minutes to go in the game. Atlantic shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Inbound into Geyer, tracks it down in the corner. They pull Green out a little bit more defensively. Here's Pellet. Inside to Geyer. Green, it was there on the contact. They let him play through. It's out of bounds off of Atlantic. Good straight-up defense there by Lene Green.
I believe they called a foul there on Harder. An over the back, which isn't not a call.
Displacement or rule of verticality, whatever you want to call it. That's the 3rd on Harder, by the way.
Yep, 3 on her and Jensen.
The foul trouble mounting up on both sides. 4 minutes to go in this one, tied at 32. Denton brings it across half court. Goes to Finley. Finley step on her defender. Kicks it out left side. Rogers 3 for the lead. It's long of everything. Jensen tracks down the rebound and then steps on the line. And it'll go back to Shenandoah with 3:52 to go. And they're going to go 4 out on the inbound. And then set from there. Denton gets it. Goes right back to Finley. 3 for the lead. In and out, no good. Yale underneath. Got the board for a moment. Had it poked away. It'll stay with the Phillies.
Yeah, and again, we talked about that stemming the tide with Green out, and they did. They gave up the lead, but ended up tying it back up. Now Green's just got to be careful, but still be aggressive, and that's a hard line to toe.
Cassidy Stevens back in for Shenandoah now. 3:45 left in this one. 32 all. Inbound out near half court to Denton. Denton goes left side. Rogers. Rogers in the lane. Finley. 2 defenders were there. Lost it. Stolen away by Huddleston. Now Atlantic can bring it across with a chance to take the lead. 3.5 to go. Jensen goes left side. Harder. Back out top, Jensen. Jensen in the lane, Harder gets the lead. Peyton Harder with 8, including 6 in this quarter, and it's 34-32 Atlantic.
That really good find by Jensen and good drive by Harder.
Rogers, 2 is long of everything, except the backboard. It's a rebound for Atlantic. Jensen out front, Harder underneath, makes it. She's now got 10. And it's a 36-32 Atlantic lead with 3 minutes to go.
That was Jensen again, just seeing the floor.
In the lane, Green, 2 defenders were there, and it's stolen away by Harder. 2:45 to go. It is a 13-2 Atlantic run. They were down 7, now they're up 4. Here's Jensen, thought about the 3. Instead goes right wing Harder, right back to Jensen. Atlantic fine with 2 and a little bit of clock. Now in the lane, Geyer gets it to roll. She's got 11.
That was about as good a possession as you could have had there for Atlantic. You chew the clock and then you get a layup. I mean, it's really good offensive basketball.
Atlantic by 6 with 2:15 left, 38-32. Finley with an out top for Shenandoah. We'll go left side, Stevens. Stevens right back to Finley. Right side, Denton. Big 3 coming here. It is no good. Long of everything. Burdorf back in now for Shenandoah. Looks like Stevens will be the one coming out. And with 2 minutes to go, Atlantic has pieced together a couple of nice possessions. And leads by 6. Geyer with it left side. Dribbles into a trap. Coach Vargitson will call a timeout. We'll take one with him. 38-32 here on the Cam Stream.
It's always been my dream to own a locker.
You like school that much, huh?
Actually, no, my own meat locker.
I'm processing.
So, what do you think?
Well, if that's your it, let's make it happen.
Well, Atlantic trying to hold on and get another win. They're up 38-32 with 1:50 to go in this one. It is now a 15-2 run that the Trojans have been on here, TJ.
Yeah, and Shenandoah did it to Atlantic earlier in the second half, and then now Atlantic's kind of flipped the script, and it kind of all started, at least built, when Lene Green picked up that 4th foul, and it was 30-28 at that point after the and one, and they've really grown the lead from there. And Shenandoah's got to get a stop for sure, but they got to start cashing in on the offensive end too, getting some buckets.
So Atlantic with the basketball. I imagine they're going to take this possession down. Nope, never mind. Pellet's going to lay one up and in and grow this to an 8-point lead at 40-32.
You want to chew the clock, but if you got a layup, you take the layup.
Here's Green, high post, driving in, lots of contact, blocking foul, and Lene Green will go to the line. Best thing that can happen for Shenandoah right now is the opportunity to score with the clock stopped.
Yeah, and that's a tough call. Could have been a no call, could have been a block, could have been a charge. It's just an awkward play, and Shenandoah is the beneficiary this time.
Green misses the front end of the free throws. Look like the Phillies might be on their way to an upset. Now they're down 8 with 91 ticks to go. Green can't get either one. Geyer with the rebound for Atlantic. Under 90 seconds to go. Huddleston with it out top. Will drive in, kick out left side. Pellet. Long two from her is banked in.
It's probably not the shot you want if you're Atlantic, the long two, but it goes, so you'll take it.
Pellet has 4 points now. They've come on the last 2 Atlantic possessions. That's a 10-point game with 1:05 to go. Denton, right side, Finley. Finley, a three is short off the rim. Denton gets the rebound. They'll go, they wanted to go to Denton. It's deflected by Huddleston. Huddleston draws the foul, trying to attack, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, I think we're pretty safe to say Atlantic's going to escape Page County tonight. But it was a heck of a fight, and the rock fight turned into really good basketball here in the second half.
If you're Shenandoah, you're going to look back at this game as the first one is good by Huddleston. You're going to say, man, we were up 30-23, late third. Atlantic gets some points towards the end of the third, and then since then it's been all Atlantic. Huddleston buries them both, and it's a 44-32 game as we get a timeout. We'll keep it here. And this is going to be one, too, TJ. When you look at the final score, you're going to say, okay, Atlantic won by, right now it's 12. That is by no means going to be indicative of really the way this game played out. I mean, heck, it was a 6-point game up until about 45 seconds of basketball ago.
Yeah, and the game plan really for both. Atlantic is doing what Atlantic does. They play their 1-2-2. They're going to trap you. They want to get up and down the floor. They don't like to shoot the ball outside a lot, not super efficient out there, but they like to dribble, drive, and shoot inside, and they're really good at it. Shenandoah had a really good defensive game plan tonight, kind of took Harder completely out of the game and made Atlantic shoot from the outside, and they were in the ball game. They had, like you said, had the lead kind of until that momentum flip of the foul trouble, and boy, I mean, that really did kind of change the complexion of the game. But Shenandoah was right there, just kind of tapering down the turnovers, because that's a big theme tonight.
So Shenandoah inbound at 48 seconds to go in this one. The Phillies will, barring a comeback, drop to 500. Just a couple regular season games left, and they've got Denison Schleswig on Friday night.
That's their last road game of the season.
Then they get TJ at home early next week and Kemper at home late next week. That's a Kemper team, by the way. It's playing some pretty good basketball. Shenandoah brings it up and across. With it left corner, Berdorf. Pass deflected. Rogers got to it. Now here's a three. Stevens, no good. Berdorf tried to save it and couldn't. And it's out of bounds back to Atlantic. Atlantic, meanwhile, they just played St. Albert last week, a state-rated St. Albert team in Class 1A, and beat them. Well, guess what? They've got them again on Friday night.
Welcome to the Hawkeye 10.
Yeah.
Of course, they've been there for a long time.
And they've got ACG. Well, check that. They've got St. Albert. That's a rescheduled game, I believe, on Friday night. And then Red Oak early next week, Denison Schleswig late next week as well. Here's Geyer. Gives it back out to Jensen. Looks like the Trojans are just going to dribble it out. They close the game on a 21-2 run. And 3A number 14 Atlantic fights off a scare from Shenandoah for a 44-32 victory. TJ Young, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it kind of came down to foul trouble from the bigs, but then also turnovers. It's hard. It's hard to beat a good team when you have a lot of turnovers, and I'm probably off a little bit, but my tally was 31. And a lot of those were forced, but some of those were unforced turnovers, were passes to nobody or maybe over dribbles, things like that you can clean up fixable errors. But you got to tip your cap to Atlantic. They came in, and Shenandoah was ready to play, and Atlantic took Shenandoah's best shot for 3 quarters, and they were able to pull away with that big run to seal the deal.
So Atlantic, that is win number 4 in a row for them, 13-4 on the year, still 5-2 at Hawkeye 10 conference play. Shenandoah has now dropped their second straight. They're 9-9 on the year. Look to get back in the win column when they take on Denison on Friday night. Full rundown from tonight's game will be available online later on at KMAland.com. You listen to high school basketball on the KMA Extreme. A 44-32 victory for the Atlantic girls here tonight. Saying so long from Shenandoah for TJ Young and KMA Sports. I'm Trevor Mader. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.